So hello everyone there, this is Abe again. So I'm here in this video for basically stored procedures, indexes, and the in and out operators of functions that are used in the on my SQL select clause. So I'm here basically for those, and we're going to start with the stored procedures. So stored procedure, a question can be, what is a stored procedure? So a stored procedure is a set of SQL commands stored in the database that can be reused or run whenever they are called or whenever they are needed. It's like a function. Those who have worked with function in different programming languages, we can write our code in the function, and when we want to execute that code, we call that function anywhere in the code. So anywhere in the code. So meaning this stored procedure can also be used anywhere within the database. Anywhere, because we create it in the database. So it's like a function. I can say it is like a function. Though now in database it is a procedure or a stored procedure. Yes, by definition, a set of my SQL commands, or you can say written commands or pre-written commands, anything, but it just being stored in the database and can be reused. So one of the importances of the stored procedure can be reusability, because whenever you want to just don't write those codes, so the commands again, you just call your stored procedure, like we are going to see in the in this video. So I'm going to start with the stored procedures. So meaning I'm going to show my databases here. Show database. So I have very many databases, but now I'm going to use demo because I have there one table, and that table, I think it is empty. So I'm going to show tables. So I have a table called, student. So now here, I'm going to describe this student. It is describe student, but this has to be capital S. So this is our table structure. This is the structure we have for for the student table. So now here we are going to insert some data. Insert into student. So what are we going to insert? The columns or the fields. So we are going to insert the student ID. We are going to insert the student name. We are going to insert English. We are going to insert SST. We are going to insert math. We are going to insert science. Control V. So we are going to insert total. And we are going to insert the grade of the student. So now the values to these fields or the columns so these are our values. The ID is going to be 1. The student name is going to be beta. SST is something like 56, 78, 90, and 67. So the total, we can get the total here, calculate the total. Let's just estimate the total, it can be like 400. Now the grade can be like grade B. Let me just terminate this. Yeah, we have our data. So I'm going to write a stored procedure, a simple one. I'm going to write a stored procedure before we go on to more complex what? Stored procedure. So in simple one can be create procedure. Create procedure. So we can give it a name and we can call it get student. Get a student. So within here, we are going to leave it open as per now. But when you see the syntax of a stored procedure, we can pass there some parameters. Like in the function, we can pass some parameters in the function on its declaration. There is the same thing on the stored procedure. We can also pass parameters on its declaration. So now we are going to say begin. Then here, after the begin keyword, here we are going to put our XL command that is going to be stored, and it is going to be executed whenever that procedure will be called. So this one is going to be selecting all from our student table. Select all from our student table. So we are going. If I press enter, we shall get an error. If I press enter, we shall get an error. This one being, we have a delimiter. Remember, our code is incomplete. Our code is incomplete, but we have a delimiter. So this is a delimiter here. So meaning we need to inform. I know you have been experiencing these errors. We need to inform now the compiler that we are going to use a delimiter. Delimiter. You can use those forward slashes to the forward slashes, or you can use the dollar symbols. What is good, what is better for you, you can use one of them. So now here I'm informing this statement, okay, this line, I'm informing the compiler that don't stop the execution when you see, like until when you will see a delimiter with a termination again. So you are going to see this. So now I've informed the compiler. So I'm going to press enter, and I'm going to bring my procedure again. Enter, enter. So you see now here, remember when I terminated here up, the compiler stopped the execution and it's thrown an error. So but now here it has now managed to allow us to go to the next word, to the next line. So meaning it is because of this one, because we have informed it until you allow the input until when you see a delimiter with a termination at the end. So now here we are going to end this procedure with the forward slashes. So they are saying the query is okay and zero rows has been affected. So meaning we have not inserted anything. That means there is no row which is affected. So now we have to remove the delimiter. By this, you write a delimiter some space and you terminate. So now we have removed the delimiter. So now I'm going to call this procedure. When we are calling a procedure, it acts like the same way like in programming, either Java or even C or Python, when we used to call a method or a function. So now we write a keyword called call, and we write the name of the procedure, which is student, get student, then the brackets, and we terminate. So now if I happen to click enter, we are going to select everything from the table called student. We are going to execute this. We are going to execute our command. So if I press enter, here they are saying mark and a student everything. So that is how a stored procedure works. So now, what if I don't know if that database has a procedure or what, and I want to see is there a procedure on that database? So we are going to write that query. So we are going to show procedure, so procedure status. So procedure status will describe where, or you put a condition where DB, which indicates the database, equals to demo. We put our database name, which is demo. So they are saying we have a procedure. This procedure is called get procedure. It is here. It was created when this was the date Oh, this is the date. The date is today. And this video, I'm encoding it now. So now, we are going to write another procedure where we are using a parameter, or where we are passing a parameter, and when we are calling it, it will expect an argument. So I'm going to drop our procedure called getStudent. Let me just drop this. Okay, let me leave, and we have another one. There will be two. So create. Before that, let me just pass this delimiter, then create a procedure. What am I creating? I'm creating a what? A procedure, and this one is going to be get all student. Get all student. So within here, the procedure I'm going to write, I want to get the student when someone passes the student ID. When someone passes the student ID, and if that ID is in the table, the query will output the result set. And if that ID is not there, we shall get an empty set. So here I'm going to declare a variable. So when you are declaring a variable, we bring in the other two keywords I was talking about, the in and out. So in, we are going to bring in, meaning we are inputting in ID. Now I'm declaring a variable or a column or a parameter in, and this one is going to be an integer. So now I'm going to say begin. When I press enter, I will have to write something here. So I'm going to write select all from student where the student ID equals to the ID we have declared. So let me just explain this. So we are saying select all from student, but we are putting a condition where the ID, that student ID, this one in our table, is equal to the ID. It is equal. They are going to put some comparison, or the comparing. The compiler is going to compare, is this ID that the user have inserted stored in this parameter or column, is it within the table, or is it within the IDs that I have? If it is there, then it will execute and output the result set of that particular student on the ID the user has inserted. So now here I'm going to end this. So this is going to be end, and the query is okay. So I'm going to close this delimiter by this. So now we are going to call our procedure. So it is called get all student. Get all student. So now if I happen to terminate here and I press enter, we are going to get an error. Let me just show you. We are getting an error, and they are saying incorrect number of arguments for a procedure at this database get all student. So meaning it expects, are you seeing this one? It expects at least one argument. So we are going to pass there one. So we are getting a student whose ID is 1. But what if we pass 2? Remember, we have only one student. It will show an empty set. Are you seeing? We don't have that student with ID 2 in the what? In that table. So that was the introduction to a stored what? A stored procedure. So now I have a question here. So the question says, you are going to write a stored procedure that will be used to insert people's marks in the result table, and the procedure should be called when a new student marker is being inserted. The procedure should compute the student's grade based on the sum of the marks and obtained from the first subject by the student use the scale below. This is our question. So we are going to answer this question using this table that we have here. So now remember our table has some marks. But now our question requires to use that table, to use the procedure to be inserting what? The data directly by using a procedure whenever it is called. So now here I'm going to go back and I'm going to truncate that table. I'm going to truncate the table. So it is going to be truncate. Truncate. Is that the spelling? Truncate. Let me see. Truncate the table, and this table is going to be student. Yeah, that is the spelling. So now, but they are saying zero affected. Let me just see. Select all from student. Select all from student. Wow, it has worked. Truncate just deletes everything from the table. Yep. So now our table is empty. Describe student. Our table is empty. Our table is there. So meaning we have to insert data using the stored procedure if you're answering this question. And they are saying the procedure should be called when a new student mark is being inserted. The procedure should compute the student's grade based on the total. So meaning we have a scale. We have a scale. So if you haven't studied about conditions, we have to use conditions here. It will be an if statement, or you can also use the case statement. So when we go back, we have to answer our question here. We are going to answer our question here. Let me just divide these screens. Yep. So this is our question. It's going to be this side. Now we are going to write our procedure. So this procedure is going to be create delimiter. Let me just put it in delimiter. I'm going to say this. Then it is going to be create procedure. This question was somehow logical, but we are going to go into it. So create procedure. So this procedure is going to be insert new student. We are inserting new student. So within here, remember we are inserting a new student. So within here, I'm going to pass the student ID. Interesting. So before this, I'll have the in, then I pass this. This one is going to be an integer. I put a comma. So I'm going to pass the student name, which is going to be in. And this one is going to be a vocal plus the size, which is 45. Again, here I'm going to put a comma and I pass the English, which is going to be in, and an integer. So again, here I pass the SST, which is going to be in, and SST, and an integer. So this is also going to be math. It's going to be in. It is going to be an integer. This is also going to be science. In science, and it is going to be an integer. So now we are done. So these are the variables or the parameters that we are going to pass in. So you may ask, why are we not passing the grade and the total? So meaning, according to the question, they are saying the procedure should compute this. So meaning we are not required to enter them manually. It has to be computed. So now we are going to begin. Now we are going to write our procedure. So when we begin here, we are going to declare. I don't know whether you know how to declare variables in my SQL. So I'm going to declare a variable, and the first variable is going to be total. It's going to be total. And this is going to be an integer. So we're going to declare another variable, and this variable now, it is going to be grade. It's going to be grade. So now, here, grade is going to be a file card, and it is going to be 45. So when I click enter, so I'm going to assign. How am I going to assign now? So I'm going to assign, I'm going to make this total to be English, to be equivalent to English plus social studies, plus mathematics plus science. Yep. So we go. So we have that. And now I'm going to write an if statement. So the if statement is going to be, if the total, we are depending now, we are here on the table. If the total is above 400, then we are going to set our grade. Our grade is going to be invalid grade. Then we have the else if the total is above 300 and this total is less or equal to 400, then what will happen? Then we are going to set the grade to be grade 1 or grade I, depending here, this one, grade I. Then we are going to put another else if our total is below, we are saying it is below, so it is above 200, but it is, and the total, but that total is less than, meaning less than 299. Then we are setting our grade to be grade 2, that I think. Then we terminate. So we're going to put another else if total this total is above 100 and the total is less than this, then we are setting the grade to be grade this. The last one, we are setting else if our total is below 99. Then what will happen? Then we set the grade to be something which is grade X. Yeah. So now we are going to end our if statement by saying end if. So that is our procedure. But after ending the if statement, the question says insert something. So we are inserting into this table up, this table, the one up here you are seeing. So meaning you are going to write that query, which is insert into the table is called student. The table is called student. So what are we inserting? So we are inserting the student. We are inserting the student ID. We are also inserting the student name. We are also inserting English. We are inserting SST. We are inserting math. We are inserting science. We are inserting the total, comma. We are inserting the grade. So what are the values? The values, now the values will be this one in the stored procedure. So meaning the first value is going to be this. So it is better you create either variables, not like the same as this, because now these are the same, only that I just copied and I was just copying and pasting. Then this, then this, Control C, Control V, then this, Control C, Control V, tap, tap, tap. Then the total will be this total we declared here. Tap, tap. The grade will also be this grade we declared here. Tap, tap. Yep, that is our query. I press enter. Let me just end this and we see if it will work. If it fails, meaning we have an error. It has failed, so meaning we have an error. Let me just, they are saying we have an error. Next to line. They are saying next. I've seen the error where it is. They're saying we have a syntax error near equal signs. Yeah, I think I've got, let me just go back. Here. So I think I had to set, I had to set the total, not just making the total like that. I had to set. After setting, what was next? It is putting the if statements. I think it is this. See whether it will work. Then this grade 3. Then that. Then this. Then this. Then. We have also, meaning that one was okay. We have debugged that. So now they are saying, yeah, I've seen somewhere. They are saying near the if statement, after the if, near. Yeah. Sorry. Creating new procedure. This. This. If you are following, I'm going to terminate from here because we have to terminate. The error was here. We didn't terminate. If you go back here, this one we didn't terminate and we had to terminate. So if you are following, you still remember our code. So grade X, so meaning after the grade X, what is next? After the grade X, it is placing the what? The end if. Yeah. Perfect. So our query is now what? Is now okay. So I'm going to remove the delimiter. You have to bear with the condition. So I'm going to remove this. Now we are going to call our procedure and we insert it there. We see whether it will calculate the total and it will give the grade according. So it is going to be called insert. It is called insert new student. New student. So we are passing the ID, which is going to be 1. The student name is going to be Isabella. So English has 67. The next subject, let me say, has 90. Another subject has 56. And another subject, he has something like, let me say, okay, 89. So I think we are entering only that. Let me press enter. Yeah, perfect. It has worked. They are saying query okay and 1 row affected. Now let's select from our table, which is student. Which is student. Wow. So this is the what? This is the table. Remember, we have entered we have entered only this. So the compiler has calculated the total and the grade. We can also prove this compiler, but it is right. If you get 67, 90 plus 56 plus 89, I think this is, and this 302 falls in grade 1. Let's see, it falls between here. It falls between here. I think it is within that range. So that was how we can create a procedure, and we have also seen how we can do a complex number like that. That number was taking 10 marks. The number was taking 10 marks, I think. Yeah, it was taking 10 marks. So now let me just go for the indexes and we end the video. So the index, if you say like, what is an index? If someone asks you what is an index, so an index is just like the way I understand it, an index is like, if you want, like if you have a table, let me just give you a scenario. If you have a table where we have mob data, when the data is huge, we have very many workers. Like if you find a company having 1,000 workers, but we want to retrieve, or we want to select, or we want to show some particular workers. So meaning we use an index, or we put indexes on the columns such that those indexes can help us to return some particular columns where the index are quickly. Mostly they are used to return data quickly. So let me just show you. So the syntax is like this: create index. And before even creating indexes, we are ever creating them. When you put a primary key on a certain column, so meaning you have made an index. But indirectly, I'm going to show you. So create an index. So this index is going to be called log. Remember, after creating something, we have to pass a name called log, and this index is going to be on the table called student. And it is going to take which columns. Okay, so meaning here we are going to pass a column. It is going to be on student name. So I want to retrieve the student name quickly. On the student what? On the student name. So this is the syntax. This is the syntax. So when I press enter, here they are saying query okay, 1 row affected, and that. So now, if I happen to show indexes, let me just show you. Show indexes from the table called student. I think we have two. We have the primary key and this one that I've created. So from that, so are you saying they are saying we have two indexes? The first one, and they are non-unique. The first one, it is this. So the first one, it is the primary key, the number we generated, and it is working on a student mark. This one we generated, okay, we created it when we are creating the table, but we didn't specify, but it is an index. Now we have created ours called what? Log. So these indexes help us to retrieve data quickly when we are calling the particular what? A particular row. Sorry, a particular column. So I can select, I can just say select all, select all from student, and I put a where clause where the student name equals to beta. So this one, it is more quick. It's more quick. You can see the seconds, and the seconds we use here. Yeah. So that is index. We can also pass. We can also create it, and you pass what? Here you pass a number of columns like this, like this. Though now this one, they will throw an error because this index is already there. You can pass the different columns that you want to index in. So now we have a statement. Lastly, we are going to see my SQL statements. So statement can be, we have our student called Isabella. We want to write a statement that will return the Isabella. Okay, Isabella is a student at MAST, and he scored the following, and he has the following grade, or he will obtain the following grade. That statement. So I'm going to show you how we can write a MySQL statement. So this is going to be select. I'm going to specify what I'm selecting. So I'm going to select, and I say select, and I say my name is. So here I'm going to put comma, and I put that variable which is storing the name. The variable is student name. So, and I say my name is this, comma, I put another statement. I'm a student at MAST. A student at MAST. Comma, I can say I have scored or obtained. I have scored. So here I'm going to pass the grade. I have scored this grade. So where am I specifying them, or where am I getting the information from? The information, I'm getting it from a table called student. So if I happen to run this, so they are saying my name, you see this statement. They are saying my name is Bella. I'm a student at MAST. I have scored grade 1. But I want to return a single statement. How? To return a single statement, I'm going to use a scalar function called concatenate. This one concatenates what? It concatenates strings. So I'm going to concatenate this up to here, and I put an alias name as statement, and I say as a message, from a student called Isabella. So when I run this, they are saying a message. My name is Isabella. I'm a student at MAST. I have scored grade 1. That was today's video. Thank you for watching. I wish you a good day.